All right, so this is a video that is meant to explain the different parts of the project that you have been given. This video goes with part one. And in part one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be completing a table of values for 5 different equations. So right here, we're going to be completing this table of values, and we're going to be using this expression to complete the table of values. Now for the first one, where the answer is a -5, you already see it in blue. This one's been done for you already on your project. If we have a 3/5 times a -5 minus 2, the first thing we do with our input right here is we take the -5 and divide it by 5. That's a -1. Now that -1 times 3 is how we get the -3. Now the -3 minus 2 is a -5, and we've done the first one. Now the second number that we're plugging in from the table of values is a 0. So we plug in the 0 right here. 3/5 of 0 is 0, and 0 minus 2 is a -2. So now we've got the -2 in the table. Our next input is a 5, so we're going to plug in the 5 for x. And now we've got 5 divided by 5, which is 1, times 3 is 3. And now 3 minus 2 is 1. For point 4, we're plugging in the 10. And now we've got 10 divided by 5 is 2. And now times 3 is 6. And 6 minus 2 is 4. And then we're going to put a 4 here. Now underneath the table of values, we want to just list the domain and range. The domain, friendly reminder, is the inputs ordered from least to greatest. So the -5, the 0, the 5, and the 10 that we plugged in, that was our domain. And the outputs that we got in order from least to greatest were a -5, a -2, a 1, and a 4. Just to kind of remind you, what I'm saying is that this list of inputs is called the domain, and this list of outputs is called the range. So what I want you to do now is I want you to complete the table of values for line 2, line 3, and line 4. You're just going to plug in the numbers and show the work in each of these spots. This is where you plug in and simplify. You are going to put those answers in the table of values, and then you are going to list the domain and range for each. There's line 2. You're going to do it for line 3 and line 4. And then when you flip over to the back, you'll see that there's one more for you to plug in. Now I will do a demonstration on line 5 on the back. I will take this first point, the -10, and I will demonstrate how to plug this one in. This time we have a -3/5, and then we're going to plug in the -10, and then we take away 2. Now here I want to remind you guys with your emoji rules that if we have a negative fraction times a negative number, that's going to be a positive answer. So 10 divided by 5 is 2, times 3 is 6, and 6 minus the 2 is 4. Friendly reminder that you can use the emoji rule to multiply that -3/5 by the number, and then determine if the answer is supposed to be a positive or negative. So the very first number that we're going to have here in our domain is a -10. That is the first number that we're going to have from least to greatest. And then once you figure out all of the y values, you can just list the range from least to greatest. I want you to stop this video now and complete all of part 1. Just do the points, plug them in, fill out the table of values, and list the domain and range. You're going to do part 2 after you've completed part 1.